When most founders talk about doubling their revenue, the body secretly panics. They assume more business means more headaches, longer hours, and constant chaos. In physics, a high-conduction wire moves massive energy with zero heat and zero resistance. Scaling isn't about pushing harder. It's about widening your internal vessel so growth flows through effortlessly. Stop assuming growth has to hurt. Stream episode 131 now and book your subconscious audit at bespokehumanpotentialcoaching.com. Be legit. When founders and executives sit around a boardroom and talk about doubling their revenue or expanding market share or taking massive new accounts, their strategic mind says, yes, I'm ready for this. But their bodies secretly panics because to their subconscious mind, more business doesn't mean freedom. It means more headaches, longer hours, heavier demands, and constant operational chaos. They believe that to carry a larger enterprise, they have to become a stronger beast of burden. They assume that higher revenues require holding a heavier weight on their shoulders. If you're operating under the assumption that growth must come with added stress, you are running a high-resistant operating system. And in fast-moving markets like we have today, high resistance leads directly to executive burnout, team turnover, and strategic paralysis. Welcome back to the Legit Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Curtis McCullom. Over the last few episodes, we installed your subconscious operating system. We taught you how to intercept midday resistance and mastered the zero latency using daily mental integration. Today, in episode 131, we're tackling the ultimate test of an expanding leader. How high conduction capacity. We're giving you the exact calibration protocol to handle rapid growth, bigger deals, and expanding operations without adding an ounce of extra stress to your day. You're about to learn how to move massive business volume with absolute lightness, precision, and systematic weightlessness. Let's execute precision alignment. First, we're going to talk about high conduction versus high resistance. To understand how to scale your business without feeling overwhelmed, you know how we feel overwhelmed when we start to expand. We have to first look at how energy and data move through physical systems. Now, in physics, an electrical current passes through a high-resistance wire. The wire creates heat and friction. If you pump more electricity through the same high-resistant wire, it melts. Most business owners scale their companies like high-resistant wires. They use grit. They use force, and they micromanage to move workloads, creating an internal heat from all of that friction, which shows up as what? As anxiety, systematic friction, and fatigue. Now, when more business comes in, their internal system short circuits. A high conduction wire, on the other hand, allows massive amounts of energy to pass through with zero resistance and zero heat. High conduction capacity is the ability of your own internal vessel to let multi-million-dollar business volumes, complex negotiations, and team management flow through your daily routine without creating an ounce of internal pressure. Think of the leadership capacity like a municipal water main. Think about the big water main. If you try to force 10,000 gallons of water per minute through a 2-inch pipe, the pressure builds, the joints leak, and eventually the pipe burst. That is how most founders try to scale, forcing massive business volume through a narrow, stress internal vessel. High conduction capacity isn't about pumping the water harder. It's about expanding the pipe to a 10-foot main. When the diameter of the internal vessel expands, that same 10,000 gallons flow through smoothly, quiet, and weightless, without creating a single ounce of pressure on the system. To widen that pipe, we look at two undeniable scientific frameworks. The first one is allostatic accommodation and cognitive load. Why do some leaders handle massive enterprises with total ease, while others crumble under the weight of a small team? In neuroendocrinology, researchers study allostatic accommodation, the biological mechanism by which the body adapts to higher operational demands without elevating baseline stress hormones. When a leader conditions their autonomic nervous system to maintain parasympathetic safety during expansion, the body increases biological spare capacity. So this allows high-stake deals to be processed without triggering a cardiovascular strain or a systematic burnout. Furthermore, educational psychologist John Swear formulated cognitive load theory, proving that human working memory has a strict finite processing capacity. When an executive operates under chronic internal stress, extraneous cognitive load consumes up 80% of their memory bandwidth. But by systematically releasing internal noise, the leader frees up 100% of their bandwidth. That means that's allowing multi-million-dollar decisions to be processed with rapid, weightless clarity. So when you eliminate extraneous internal noise, you don't need more hours in a day. You simply unlock full, unburdened processing power of your prefrontal cortex. Here's the exchanger. Look, guys, the subconscious audit. If you're looking at your current growth trajectory and feeling an immediate tightness in your chest or a sense of dread about the upcoming quarter, hear me clearly. Your business strategy isn't the problem. Your internal diameter is simply constricted. You cannot solve an internal capacity issue with a new project manager tool or another hire. You need a rapid baseline recalibration. The subconscious audit is a hyper-targeted 15-minute diagnostic protocol engineered exclusively for multi-seven-figure and eight-figure leaders. We skip the talk therapy rabbit holes. We look directly at your subconscious hardware and kind of pinpoint exactly where the homeostatic limits restricting your capacity and show you how to calibrate your system to hold massive scale with complete ease. So stop letting fear of overwhelm cap your company's potential. Go to bespokehumanpotential.com right now and book your diagnostic audit. Let's widen your transmission pipeline. Back to the show. Here's the protocol: expanding your vessel in 3 steps. How do you practically expand your internal capacity so that rapid growth produces less chaos instead of more? You execute these 3 precision alignment practices daily. Number 1, decouple volume from stress. Actively challenge the subconscious narrative that more business equals more pressure. When the major opportunity or workload surge arrives, execute the daily emotional integration protocol we introduced last week. And if you missed it, episode 130, please go back and listen to it so you can understand what that means. But here's a short version of it. Notice how your internal signal of panic, then separate that from your identity for what it is, like I am stressful to I feel stress. Then remind your nervous system to kind of relax. This is increased volume, not increased danger. Just reminding your thing, this is increased volume, not increased danger. Number 2, Protect biological spare capacity. Never run your nervous system at 100% operational strain. Incorporate strategic micro recoveries throughout your execution day. Utilizing the morning causal anchor and midday vagal override ensures your autonomic nervous system remains in parasympathetic safety. If you don't have that causal anchor, what you can do, you take 3 good diaphragmatic breaths. And this allows your body to preserve your biological spare capacity for high leverage strategic decisions. Number 3, clear the extraneous noise. Systematic release open mental loops. If an issue cannot be acted upon immediately, log out, delegate it, or integrate that signal using your journal. But by keeping your working memory free of residual worry, you process complex enterprise expansion with zero friction and absolute weightlessness. Massive growth does not require massive suffering. But when you upgrade your internal capacity, you can double your enterprise impact while enjoy total personal freedom. If this episode shifted your personal perspective on scaling today, take a moment right now to leave a comment below. Tell me one area of your business where you're ready to trade chaos for high conduction ease. Hit the subscribe button, leave a review on the platform, and share this masterclass with a founder who is currently grinding themselves to dust, trying to hold their business together. Let's help them lead with lightness. This is the Legit Mindset Podcast. I'm Curtis McCullom. Be legit.